You know, vlogging with no equipment and raw footage, making do with what I've got and putting out things into the world to be seen and taken in, knowing they're not the best, knowing they're not up to par with what so many other people are putting out, knowing they could be better if I had more money. It reminds me of being in art school. When I was in college, I worked full-time and put myself through school. I didn't have any help. And I was an art student because I was the only one in my family to have gone to college, and I didn't know any better. I didn't know people went to school for a career. I thought you went for an education. And I was like, well, what do I like? I like art. Boy, that was a mistake that I had to flip-flop halfway through. But as an art student, I got so much marked on my craft. And my craft was so poor because I spent half my time holding down a full-time job and supporting myself. I couldn't invest in the supplies. I could barely afford the classes. I didn't get my books. I just paid really close attention in class. But I aced all of the regular work. It was the art. The supplies just cost so much money. And I was making my supplies from scavenging the supplies the other students threw away. Old rusty X-Acto blades and mat board and paint. I painted my 3D projects the color that was in the trash. Of course, my work was not the same kind of quality as everyone else around me. But I worked my off, and I got a degree. And this channel kind of parallels that situation. Sometimes you have to start what you're not ready for, or you'll never start anything. Whether it's financially, research, there's not enough research you could do in the world. We're never prepared enough for anything. And don't ever sell yourself short of opportunity and activity because you know it's not gonna be the way that it could be if only. If only I had their experience, if only I had their connections, if only I had better equipment, if only I had more money, if only will never allow you to experience your life. And also, know when those judgments come back. I got some pretty harsh judgments, not on my talent, but on my final product. I knew I was holding down a full-time job and over a full load of classes. You know if you're staying up late nights with a sick kid and holding down a job and you're trying to do something else. You know if you're working 2 jobs. You're not going to be able to do that thing to the same caliber as somebody who can sit around all day and do that thing. Whatever it is that's on your plate that you think inhibits you, don't let it prevent you from putting a foot out there, even if you think it's not going to be your best foot. You know it's the best you can do at that time, and you know in your back pocket that you could do better, if only. So you know that it's not even your best quality. That should make you bulletproof for criticism if you fear the criticism of not being ready, not being able to put out what you think you could or should put out given a different situation in your life than what you're doing. You're doing despite all that. Good for you. And you know it could only get better. It could be better. That's a much better place to be than going, well, that was my best. That's more of a painful moment when you know you put everything you have into something. You had every connection. You had every dollar. You had all the time in the world. You put your heart and your soul and everything you had into something, and you really felt it was perfect, and you get knocked off that pedestal. When you know it could be so much better, and you could do it so much better, and you're capable of that. You just aren't capable in energy, in time, in finances. You can make what you can make, and that's all you can make. That's all you can do right now, but it's not all you're capable of doing. It doesn't faze you because you know they're right, but it doesn't define you. You're not defined by those extras you do, except that you're doing extra, which makes you miraculous. All the extra you can manage, given your life, whatever that given your life means you are excellent. Even if your extra is not fantastic as you know it could be, if everything else were just so. Just so you're moving forward. Just so you're fulfilling your wants and desires is fantastic. So do it. Just go ahead and do it, YouTubers. YouTube viewers. I can't edit any of this, so you get what you get minus the craft and the quality of lighting and me not rambling because it's all rough drafts. Love you guys. Experience is a rough draft. So do it. Love you guys. Bye, YouTube.